Two of my really good friends in my life have had breast cancer, and it was really sad when we found out that they had.
The majority of my family to all forms of cancer. I never actually got to meet.
My grandmother actually had breast cancer, and she was diagnosed in the 80s. And had she been diagnosed now, she probably wouldn't have lost her breast.
My friend's mom had breast cancer. It was a very sad time.
I have a lady
died from breast cancer,
and she's actually blind and a survivor.
Now she's a survivor.
I think you become a survivor when you get your diagnosis. That's when it starts, right? That's when the journey starts.
I found out from my GP January, I think it was January 4th, over the phone that my biopsy came back and they said that I had breast cancer. For me to have somebody say you have breast cancer, it wasn't in my family, it wasn't in, I just was a bit shocked and numb and couldn't quite believe it. And of course, when I told my mother, she said, no, you don't have breast cancer.
Oh, well, I think my story started back in January 2005 when I got my diagnosis. There was a lot of, I guess, limitations that I didn't realize that were going to come with my experience.
Probably about 2 years ago, we were in the midst of planning for the run, and it seemed every couple weeks we were getting a notification that someone had lost their fight with breast cancer. And we probably lost 4 people we knew with a connection to the foundation and the run. So that's very hard because you're working every day to create a future without breast cancer, yet you know some people just, they're not going to make that fight.
When I got my diagnosis, that was one of the questions that the oncologist had asked me about was, do you know any women who have had breast cancer? And I said, well, yes. And she had thought maybe I could be talking to them. And I said, well, no, because the 2 women that I did know didn't survive.
When somebody says you have cancer, you're not the only one that does. Your family is involved as well.
To know that Gail had cancer was devastating. It affected everybody around us, and to know every day that she would, have a surgery or take chemo and come back smiling and happy and being a real strong person was amazing to watch. I love her very much.
For every woman or every family, there's a different answer. That can depend on sort of how far you are into your prognosis. And it becomes a family thing as well. I think the individual is a survivor, but the family becomes a survivor as well, or survivors.
As I remember when I was starting my treatments for chemo and I was losing my hair, and I was walking down to the cancer clinic, and I decided just to wear hats, and I would look at other women as the people coming and going closer the closer I get to the cancer agency, and I'd say, well, these are my people.
She was very, very hard on herself. Like, why can I not do this? I should be able to do this. I've done this before.
And radiation was very difficult for me, but because I'm such an active person. I couldn't do too much then. It was a good month of radiation, and you can imagine your skin being burnt beyond recognition, and maybe with a little bit of cream after, and it would heal, and then you'd be hit again with the next day. So it was every day for, other than weekends, it was every day for 28 days.
For her experience, everything that she went through was sad, but she didn't take it on that way. She took it on that she was going to beat it, and she did. And everything from her hair growing back was eventful and positive, and everything just meant so much. I remember one day she went and got the package that you could go feel great package, and they gave you makeup and everything, and she was trying all the makeup on and picking out hats, and And it was just amazing how little things would just make her so happy, and you know, it was something to admire, for sure. I mean, everybody wants to be a better person, and I strive to be a better person like Gail.
I think I take each challenge with strength and hope.
I know people who have just come out of treatment and thought, this has happened to me for a reason, and this has given me, you know, kind of the jumping off point to do something about breast cancer, and they've become spokespeople for us. There's just so many examples of women who have done incredible things because they've been affected by the disease.
I feel good. I'm in a good place now. I'm on my way to just bigger and better things. I don't think of breast cancer every day.
You can see with some of the women who haven't been survivors for all that long going through some of their struggles. And there's days that they come in and they've had a bad week or something like this, and they're in tears. But they sometimes come in on that Saturday morning, you know, with the weight of the world on their shoulders. And you can see someone who's been through it before just taking them by the hand and saying, you know what, it's going to be okay.
It's okay to cry, but don't cry for very long.
You'll get over it.
People like me can help if you like. I can talk to you, pray with you, laugh with you,
And maybe love you.
I'm really courageous. These tears are for joy, actually.